The global energy market is in a state of flux. China, the world's largest energy consumer, has made a bold move. It has decided to halt all imports of liquefied natural gas from the United States. This decision has sent shockwaves through the energy world. The immediate impact is a loss of $2.4 billion annually for American energy exporters. This unexpected turn of events underscores the shifting dynamics of global energy trade. The decision is a significant blow to the United States. The US only recently became a leading exporter of LNG. The loss of the Chinese market is a setback to its ambitions of energy dominance. China's move highlights its willingness to use its economic clout to achieve its strategic objectives. It is a clear signal that China is no longer content to be reliant on the US for its energy needs. China's decision to halt US LNG imports is a major development in the global energy market. It is a clear sign that the energy landscape is changing. This move will have far-reaching consequences for both countries. It also signals a broader shift in the balance of power in the global energy market. The decision to halt US LNG imports did not happen in a vacuum. It is directly related to the ongoing trade war between China and the United States. The trade war initiated during the Trump administration has had a significant impact on the global economy. Tensions escalated with the imposition of additional tariffs by the Trump administration. These tariffs targeted a wide range of Chinese goods. The tariffs were intended to protect American jobs and industries. However, they have also hurt American businesses and consumers. The trade war has created uncertainty in the global market. This uncertainty has made it difficult for businesses to plan for the future. China's decision to halt US LNG imports is a direct response to these tariffs. It is a way for China to retaliate against the US without directly targeting American consumers. The move is also a way for China to exert leverage in the trade negotiations. While closing the door on American LNG, China opened a new one with Australia. China signed a 15-year LNG supply deal with the Australian company Y Energy. This agreement will see Australia supply approximately 0.6 million metric tons of LNG to China annually, starting in 2027. This deal is significant for several reasons. Firstly, it marks a long-term commitment between the two countries. This commitment provides stability and predictability for both sides. Secondly, it reduces China's reliance on the US for LNG. This reduced reliance gives China more leverage in future trade negotiations. Finally, the deal cements Australia's position as a leading LNG exporter. This agreement is a win-win for both China and Australia. It provides China with a stable and secure source of LNG. For Australia, it secures a long-term market for its LNG exports. This deal is a clear indication of the changing dynamics in the global energy market. China's decision to partner with Australia on LNG is part of a broader strategy. China is actively diversifying its energy sources. This diversification aims to reduce its reliance on any single supplier, particularly the politically volatile United States. China is playing a long game, aiming to secure its energy future in an increasingly uncertain world. China's energy strategy has several key components. One is securing long-term contracts with stable suppliers like Australia. Another is investing in energy infrastructure such as pipelines and LNG terminals. Furthermore, China is increasing its domestic energy production, particularly in renewable energy sources. This multi-pronged approach underscores China's determination to control its energy destiny. By reducing its dependence on the US, China gains greater geopolitical leverage. It also safeguards its economy from potential disruptions in the global energy market. Section 5. Europe's evolving energy landscape. The ripple effects of China's decision extend beyond the Asia-Pacific region. Europe, a major importer of US LNG, initially benefited from the surplus caused by China's withdrawal. Lower prices for American LNG were a boon for European countries grappling with energy security concerns. However, this dependence on US LNG is proving to be short-lived. Europe is actively seeking to reduce its reliance on any single energy supplier. The continent is investing heavily in renewable energy sources and exploring alternative gas suppliers. Russia, despite geopolitical tensions, remains a significant gas supplier to Europe. Europe's energy landscape is undergoing a profound transformation. The pursuit of energy security and the transition to cleaner energy sources are driving this change. The decline in US LNG exports to Europe is a symptom of this larger shift. The changing dynamics of the global energy market have presented opportunities for other players. notably Canada. Faced with a proposed 10% tax on its oil and gas exports to the United States, Canada has been actively seeking alternative markets. China, with its growing energy demands, has emerged as a key partner. The completion of the Trans Mountain Expansion (TMX) pipeline in 2020 has been a game-changer for Canada. This pipeline allows Canada to bypass the United States entirely and ship oil directly to Asia from Alberta via the Pacific coast. The TMX pipeline has significantly increased Canada's oil export capacity, allowing it to capitalize on the growing Asian market. China's Rongsheng Petrochemical has made inroads into the Canadian market, securing long-term contracts for Canadian oil. This partnership signifies a strategic shift for Canada, reducing its dependence on the United States market and forging closer ties with Asia. The combined effect of these global energy shifts presents a significant challenge to the United States' aspirations of energy dominance. The U.S. strategy of using energy exports as a tool of foreign policy is under threat. The loss of the Chinese market, coupled with decreasing European dependence and Canada's pivot to Asia, weakens U.S. leverage in the global energy arena. To maintain its position as a leading energy power, the United States needs to adapt to the changing landscape. Repairing strained trade relationships, particularly with China, is crucial. The U.S. also needs to offer more competitive LNG prices to attract buyers in a crowded market. Investing in technologies that reduce the cost of LNG production and transportation is essential for long-term competitiveness. The United States faces a critical juncture in its energy strategy. Clinging to outdated policies and failing to adapt to the new realities of the global energy market could lead to a further decline in American influence. Canada's pivot towards exporting oil to Asia while offering economic opportunities is not without risks. Environmental concerns are paramount. The expansion of oil sands production and the increased tanker traffic associated with the TMX pipeline raise serious concerns about potential oil spills, deforestation, and greenhouse gas emissions. Indigenous communities, scientists, and environmental groups have voiced strong opposition to the TMX pipeline and expanded oil sands development. They argue that the environmental risks outweigh the economic benefits. The Canadian government faces a delicate balancing act. It must weigh the economic gains of energy exports against the potential environmental consequences and the concerns of its citizens. Striking this balance will be crucial for Canada's long-term sustainability and its international reputation. The recent developments in the global energy market are reshaping the geopolitical landscape. The days of unipolar energy dominance are fading, replaced by a more multipolar world. China's rise as a global energy player, its strategic partnerships, and its focus on energy security are transforming the dynamics of the market. The United States, while still a major player, can no longer dictate the terms of global energy trade. Europe is charting its own course, seeking to balance energy security with its climate goals. Canada, emboldened by new energy infrastructure and eager to diversify its markets, is asserting itself as a significant energy exporter. This new world order in energy geopolitics presents both challenges and opportunities. The potential for geopolitical competition over resources is real. However, the need for cooperation on issues such as climate change and energy security is also apparent. The coming years will be critical in determining how these competing forces will shape the future of global energy.